Lil Uzi was supposed to drop his new album, Barter, 16 weeks ago, or at least the past 2 to 3 weeks we've been talking about that, but he hasn't done so. But there's been leaks popping up, and especially also producers hinting at the album and giving us more info on it that I wanted to go into in this video, so let's jump straight into this.
If you want to stay up to date with all current hip-hop events and releases, make sure to subscribe and become part of this community. Oh, and also go cop that fresh merch and listen to my new songs in the description.
Today, no camera, just voice, and even less quality in that. I apologize for that, but I'm on the road right now, so this is the only way that I can get this info to you. So be on the lookout for more infos like this, but then we're back to the old quality as soon as I get back home. But for now, this is it as a quick info. But now let's get straight into the info. So as I said, the Barter 16 was supposed to release a couple of weeks ago. We had the official announcement from Uzi on Instagram with that cover art that he also put out. That was a pretty big moment for all of us because he obviously took inspiration from Young Thug on that one. And it seemed like the album was about to release, and we had some infos for the last couple of weeks in August. I mean, we were talking like, I think it was August, 25th, or then before that, the 17th. We were always talking about those dates as a possible release date. It never dropped. And then to kind of the demise of all of that, we've had a lot of leaks pop up on August 19th that feature songs with Young Thug, but also other songs that you maybe know as an Uzi fan, and that didn't really add, any security to the fact that this was going to be dropping after all. So Uzi is kind of in a limbo right now because we don't know when this is going to drop, and also there is the possibility that this thing might have even gotten canceled. For Uzi fans, there's not a good time because we don't know if he actually decides to put out this album or not, because a lot of times when stuff gets leaked in this sort of magnitude, a lot of artists just scrap the project because they don't want to put out music that has gotten leaked so much. But let's look at the new info from a couple of the producers on this album that I think is going to shed some new light on this, so let's jump straight into this. First of all, I wanted to give London on the Track some spotlight, a producer that is working on Barter 16 and is also on the Pink Tape, I believe, pretty sure, and he actually changed his profile picture on Instagram to the cover of Barter 16, which is a pretty good hint that obviously he's going to be on the project. We kind of knew that, and we also knew that from, other facts that I'm going to present to you in a second, but it is just kind of yet another layer of security that this thing is actually going to be coming out if the producers are now also kind of putting it out there, putting the album cover out there. And I mean, even just the fact that he put out an album cover at this point in the release stage means that it was close to being finished, and I don't think that he's going to scrap a project that he already put out a cover for, especially a cover that he so legendarily recreated from the Barter 6 album cover from Young Thug. So I think that is a pretty good sign. Also, something from London on the Track, which I thought was pretty much worth mentioning, is that he posted a picture where we can see him in the studio with none other than Mike Dean, the synth god, the legend himself. And in the caption for that Instagram post 5 days ago, he wrote, B16 member at The Real Mike Dean, which is a pretty good sign that Mike Dean is going to be producing on Barter 16, which is, that's never a bad thing when Mike Dean is producing on your record. That means that we're going to have some crazy synths on there. I liked some of the production on the Pink Tape. There was a bit more grand, a bit more epic. So if Mike Dean is actually working on this album, that is a pretty freaking good sign. So I'm looking forward to seeing some influence from Mike on this one. So that's the info that we got from London on the Track. Next up, I wanted to take a look at somebody that you might know if you're kind of into a lot of the maybe recent production on also stuff like, Yeet albums or something like that. But it's Ike Beats. Ike Beats on Instagram. He's not as big as London on the Track, but he is pretty established in the industry at this point, and he actually also gave us some pretty interesting info. He posted a post that was now been deleted, which I think is pretty interesting, where he was seen in the studio with a couple of more people surrounding him, pretty much seemingly working on the Barter 16, and he just captioned this post, soon. And the interesting part is not just the fact that we kind of see that he's working on something that is coming soon, which is always something we see a lot getting thrown out there, but we never got the Barter 16, so that was never really pretty soon. But in the background, we can see a whiteboard where you can see a track list, but also when you take a closer look at this, you can see we can't make out all of the names on this whiteboard. There seems to be a track list, but also in the top right corner, there seems to be a date. And now a lot of people made theories about this. A lot of people were kind of looking at this and saying that definitely says September 1st. Now, I'm not sure. I'm not sure if this says September 1st. September 1st would obviously be this week, this Friday. To me, now it's Wednesday. We've gotten, seemingly too little info for this thing to actually be releasing this Friday. It seems to me that maybe they just put out a release date on that whiteboard to kind of have a goal they're working at. Maybe kind of like they were aiming at, August, 17th or 25th. Just put out a date out there so they have some sort of deadline they're working for. But obviously it could definitely be an option. At this point, this deep into the whole release, I don't think that a release date on September 1st would be that far off because we've just gotten so much info. We've gotten the cover, obviously, weeks ago. We've gotten so much info from Uzi over the past few weeks that it just seems like, at this point, it could release any week. Is it going to be September 1st? I don't want to, guarantee that, but I think in the next 2 to 3 weeks, we're definitely going to see that happening. Now, a reason why I think this might have gotten pushed back, one, of course, the leaks that I showed y'all earlier, the leaks from August 19th, but also the fact that obviously we still have people like Drake dropping. We still have Drake with For All the Dogs that could be dropping any day now, and it's kind of been very unsure over the past couple of weeks when this was going to drop. We all thought it was going to be, August 25th because International Dog Day, because the tweets from Benny X. It never dropped, and I think that also adds another layer of insecurity to any other artist wanting to drop within the same time period. I think also Quavo did the same thing. He pushed back Rocket Power for seemingly Drake. I think Trippie did the same thing for A Love Letter to You 5 because he thought Drake was going to drop. So we see all these artists being scared that they're accidentally going to be dropping on the same day as Drake. And I think Uzi kind of went the same route, even though he recently pulled the ballsy move of dropping on the day that we all thought Utopia was going to drop. So I think that was June 30th, and he kind of went through with it. Maybe there was some sort of, agreement behind the scenes because him and Travis are obviously close, and Travis was featured on A. So maybe that was a reason why they kind of, spoke to each other and were like, yo, when are you going to be dropping? And Uzi knew all along that Utopia was going to be dropping a month later. But still, Drake is out there. Drake is a threat to any artist dropping because he would completely crush their first week sales. He would completely crush the attention they were going to get on the day of release. And obviously Barter 16 not being as hyped as the Pink Tape, not being as much in the mainstream as the Pink Tape, more of a fan project, more of an homage project to also Young Thug. I think that is why it's not going to be selling that much anyway first week. And if Drake then comes in with his whole, effect, then that's going to completely destroy the effect that Uzi could have. But that's all theory so far. September 1st is up there because of Ike Beats. That doesn't mean it's guaranteed. But let me know what y'all think about this. Do y'all think that the Barter 16 is actually going to be dropping this week, this Friday, in 2 days? Or do you think it's going to be another week, another 2 weeks, another 3 weeks, another month? All your thoughts on this. And when you think this album might be dropping, please let me know in the comments down below.
If you watched this video to the end and liked it, and you want to stay up to date with all current hip-hop events and releases, make sure to subscribe, turn on notifications, hit that like button, and go follow my social media, and most importantly, join my Discord in the description. Until the next one, you'll have an incredible day, and y'all take care.